Hey friends, new and seasoned, you are at SpiceyCatColors. My name is Kathy. If you're a seasoned friend, thank you for popping back. If you're a new friend, I do coloring videos, so if they interest you, please subscribe, but no pressure, it's your call. I'm actually doing, this is just going to be a quickie video, which seasoned friends are laughing because I tend to go long, chatty videos, but I wanted to show you how I check for yellowing. So if you are a colorist specifically with markers, alcohol-based primarily, you know that there are those specific colors, formulations that will cause yellowing in your coloring pages. And that can be very sad for some of us. And I just want to show you. Of course, I didn't grab an example to show you a yellowed page. Actually, this one is doing it very lightly. There is slight yellowing right here and here and here. And it is because black markers of pretty much any kind, Sharpie, any permanent, the formula used for most black markers will cause your page to yellow. Maybe you can see it a little bit there. This is not bad. This was colored back in October. I'm filming this in February. So over time, it may get worse. It may not. And some of us, we just roll with it, especially if we do color by numbers. That's sometimes not as big of a deal for us, but I just wanted to show you quickly what I do whenever I get a new set of markers. I used to, when I started coloring, I'd just dive in because it was so fun to have this new toy, and then I'd have pages that I would go back to and it'd be almost ruined. I'd have to get really creative to cover it up. So I have two Amazon printed books. They happen to be by such and such Deva, just by fluke, and at the back of most of these books, you have various like blank pages. There are, sometimes they have a color chart where you can test your colors. Pretty much every coloring book that I know of, especially Amazon printed, will have these pages at the back. So since I do a lot of coloring on Amazon printed paper, these are the perfect for me to, test them out. Now, once a page is colored, so here's one where, again, I use the black, and it's shadowing a little bit of yellow onto this page, and I only notice it because of the white. Where the rest of it's colored, I don't see it. So again, just beware. But if you want to test your markers, here's what I do. So I go to the back. Here was a set of markers I bought from Five Below. And to be fair, I 100% expected these to cause yellowing. So when I get the markers, first of all, I always test all of them out just to make sure there's not any duds or problems, which I need to, if I need to do a return, contact the vendor, Amazon, whatever. So I like to do that to make sure they're all working. So here I just colored directly on the pages, and this was like a small set. I think there were 18 or something, so I wasn't worried about doing official swatch chart. So I just colored it in, and then I shut my book, and I made sure this wasn't like a page I cared if it yellowed in front of it or behind it, and I just set it on the shelf. Or I actually went ahead and colored, and about a month or so I go back and check to see. So this is hard because this is a black background. You can't really tell. Now, if they were really bad yellowers, it would be on here. These markers did not yellow, and it was $5 for this set of alcohol markers. Granted, they, didn't have a super long shelf life. I mean, I used them fairly quickly. A couple months, I would use them in color by number books, but for $5, I was fine with that. So interestingly enough, even the black did not yellow. Now, I will admit, I did not put a blotter sheet when I first started. So what you see here is my mistake. And then I put the blotter sheet in, but it still did not yellow. Now this one, it's that color that went through. So I'm going to zoom in so you can actually see there is no yellowing on the page. Sometimes it'll go through. Again, what went through was a blotter. So that's how I do it if I'm not going to do an actual swatch sheet. Now, if you have a swatch book, you can do this however you want. If you want to do it in your actual swatch book and then put like blank paper, or you could tear these, from the back of your book out and put them on front and back and then just let it sit to see if it yellows. Or if you want to do this tester before you put it in your swatch book, that's your call. Now, larger sets that I am going to keep, like I said, that one set from Five Below, I knew it was just going to be random. I didn't really care. It was like a pink. It's a pink. I was using them for color by numbers. So when I buy a big set, I do very similar. I print out my own. I don't have a swatch book. I print out my own. I make one up. I actually just use Excel, a spreadsheet program. You could do this in Word. You could do it anywhere. And this is the brand Lightwish 168. I got on Amazon. Very inexpensive. 100% expected this to yellow. So I went through and did all my swatches on my page. This has 2 ends, so I was checking both ends. That's why I've got 2. So you can see all the different colors. So here, this is why, again, I do this. So there's one that was dried out. Now, 1 out of 168, I'm not going to bother messaging them and expect a replacement. I'm okay. It was a pinkish red one. There are plenty of other choices. But if I had multiples, I would very easily be able to take a picture of this and send it to Amazon or the manufacturer and show them where I had issues. So I make this, and you can see it's an alcohol base, so it went through. And then, same thing, I take one of these books that have these extra sheets at the back. I look for one where there is white on the front, the page in front of it, and the page behind it. I want it to be white. It may have black backing, but I have learned the yellowing will go through that, so it's not really a problem. It's more that you want to be able to see in front of and behind. So I use a cardstock I pick up at Walmart, and I stuck it in here, and I've actually had this in here for probably 2 months. And this set of 168, absolutely no yellowing. I am just beyond. I did not expect that. Why did my lighting? Hopefully it's still okay. I'm just like, this lighting went a little bit odd. So, yeah. Okay. Again, I hope the lighting is good. I didn't change anything, but when I'm looking through the viewfinder, it looks dark. So on the front, so I tucked this in here, and I'm going to pull this out, and there is not any yellowing on the back, the page that was behind it, or in front of it. So for me, I know I can use these in any of my books. And a lot of times your yellows and your reds, I think it's the red dye or ink, whatever it is, that causes the yellowing, because I'll notice in browns, it's like the red browns, and black must have that same color in there, but none of these caused yellowing. Now, let me show you a set where I was not so lucky. So this is, a lot of us I know have purchased this from Amazon. It is the Restly 120 set. It is the same barrel and look as a similar Ohuhu set. And I don't have the Ohuhu sets because so many of you said they yellow. And let me tell you, these yellowed. Hello, Zoe. Are you here to help critique? One moment. So same thing. Oh, sorry, I had to blow my nose. So I tucked this in, and you should be able to see the amount. There are varying degrees of yellowing, but there is yellowing on the page that was behind and the page in front. So now I could return these if I wanted to, but I'm not going to, because I will just be honest, I'm lazy, and they were not that expensive. But I do want to know which markers caused the yellowing. So depending what book I'm working in, I will avoid those colors. Now here's where the easy peasy part. So I put this in, and if you notice, it didn't go through to the front that much, but also keep in mind, I'm using cardstock. So if this was just on a regular Amazon printed page, it may have come through a little. There's a little bit of shadowing, but from the back side, you can see there's definitely yellowing where the paper touched it. So here's how this is so easy for me. So I have my paper below it. I just keep it right there. And then I just kind of eyeball and I fold this over so I can easily match up instead of trying to like lift, well, which one is it, and match it up. If I fold this piece of paper back to line up, then I just kind of slid this out. I grabbed, what else? A yellow highlighter, and I can see all of these have yellowing. So I just took my highlighter and made a yellow line over that to mark it. And then same thing, for whatever reason, this brown is fine. These two caused yellowing. That one's fine. This caused yellowing. And so on down to the end. So once I have all of those marked, I do the same thing. I'm like, okay, let's take my page and go to the next. And again, I can easily match up these. Look at all those blues are perfect. Here again, we're into some browns. This one's slightly, but if it does any yellowing, I just mark it. And because this is just like a extra page in the back, I'm fine. I could tear it out when I'm done. But it makes it so easy to see the culprits that cause the yellowing. And I have it marked on my swatch sheet and keep on going. I mean, there's many ways you could do this. I just found this was like so simple and easy. I wanted to share it with everyone in case you were curious or wanted to do this yourself. And, you just have to be patient. So like I said, I bought these and I've had both of these sets for probably 2 months and I have not colored anything with them. So that's the tricky part if you're a colorist. But if you're a colorist like me, you might have plenty of other markers that you know are good. So I just thought this was worth it. And to be honest, after about a week, I could tell the ones that were starting to yellow. I just wanted to see how bad it would get. And again, so I have them all marked. And now this page I can tear out. This, again, I could have tried to, but for me, I need to see it right next to each other, especially because of the way I did this. So now what I do when I get this marker set out, there's two options depending what I'll do. If I have a set that only has like 1 or 2 that cause the yellowing, I will take some washi tape. And I don't have it. I have some that has like skull and crossbones on. Oh, here it is. This is my favorite one to use for this. And use whatever you want, whatever it'll mean. Maybe you have some yellow washi tape. So I have this washi tape that has skull and crossbones on. So I use this for 2 different ways. I use it to mark if a marker is about out of ink, so I don't use it for a large area. And I will use it to mark if it yellows. But then I can easily compare when I'm using it on my swatch sheet. Oh, it's marked because it's a yellower. So I cannot attest to, but I have heard people say that if you use the markers that cause yellowing in the premium paper, such as the Kirasher Sneva Color by Colors, the Eclipse Circulism art books are usually, if you get those printed on the premium paper. There are a couple, Alice Mills uses the premium, the shiny glossy paper. Coloring friends out here have said the yellowing does not seem to cause, the markers don't cause yellowing on that paper. And it could be because it's got that layer of gloss. I personally haven't tried it, so I can't attest to that. If I can, I will redo this video. But I will use those markers. So this one, there are a lot in this set. So what I will probably do is pull all of them out. And I have some other random markers that have been yellowing. And I will probably put them in their own little marker case bag. I could just get rid of them, donate them. I mean, you could do that. Or again, if I know I'm going to use it in certain books that the yellowing doesn't bother me, like the ones I had shown you, or even this color by number. you know, at least with these pages, these mandalas, the page before and after is the same size. So most likely if there's any yellowing, when I color the pages before or after, they will, it'll be covered up. So I don't get too worked up in this type of book if it's yellowing. Here's one where I can see there is some slight yellowing, and I can tell you right here it is from those penguins, the black marker. But once I color this page, I'm not going to be able to see that. So it's a personal preference if it bothers you or not. Like, I don't do, again, I use markers primarily, so I don't have any super fancy books that I'm going to color in, that I would use these alcohol markers. But say like my I have Camellia Angelkova. I have all of her miniature books and mandalas, and those I like. The mandalas, same thing. It's probably going to be covered, but some of the miniatures, it may carry to the other page. And then I'm like, oh crap, now I got to come up with a background idea. So I just prefer to avoid those. But anyway, again, short and sweet video. Just wanted to show you how I do it. I find this so simple. Again, just fold the pages back and it's easy to identify the culprits. Mark them on your swatch books and then you know. So I hope this was helpful to you. If anybody else has a method that they use, I would love to hear it. Like I said, I only do it, I do the swatch charts for like my bigger sets. I even do it with my Ohuhus, my Gaylords, and those typically I have not had issues. It's usually the less expensive, less known name brands that I want to test out. But again, even that Ohuhu set, which looks exactly the same as this Wrestley set, it makes me worry, did Ohuhu like, oh, again, I'm not even going to say it because I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions, but something is not right. And okay, now Frankie's going to come and say hello. So I'm going to let you guys go. Again, this was just a quick and easy to show you how I check for yellowing. And I hope you found it helpful. If you are a new friend, again, thanks for stopping by. I would love to see you again. And seasoned friends, as always, thank you for giving me your time. Please know you are precious. You are beautiful. Whether you yellow or not, I love you and you matter. Frankie, say goodbye. Nope. He's trying to chew things. Oh, that Frank. He's trying to chew my pens in my pen cup. But, okay, friends, you matter. I love you. Goodbye. Oh, and he just stole my washi. Look, he just stole this. He loves washi tape. He's like, I know you were talking washi. I'm going to steal that. And he will chew it and carry it around the house, won't you? And he knows he's not supposed to. So, okay, friends, bye.